G'day everybody, and welcome to Starship EVO as a stream. I'm starting with this ship that I built during a couple of edited videos over on the Splitsy YouTube channel, because the start of the game can be pretty slow, and it's from this point on that I know very little about what I'm going to do, how many missions I'm going to be able to do, that sort of thing, and I'm actually I'm honestly quite happy with this ship. I can remember how to... Alright, that's right. Exit. Control of it. Because we've got... Oh! I don't want to get myself embedded in the roof! Talking about how I like this ship, and then I do that to myself. No, it's saying there's a leak. That's fine. Oh, actually, that's maybe not fine, because my oxygen might be a problem. But yeah, I've got this door that I made. There are cool contraptions I can build here, and I would like to explore building more, and possibly building something bigger. There we go. Got my O2 back. So I've got hydrogen aboard, I've got oxygen aboard, and now I need to possibly go do a mission or two. Thank you, Kemsies! Thank you so much for the 5 gift subs! Did you get any weapons yet? No, I don't have any weapons. I've got mining lasers. That's what I've got. Bzzzt. See? Bzzzt. Okay, so we are near a station. And I think... What is this station? This station is... Why won't you... Target. Oh, that's right, it's R. Not that. Starting station. Let us request parking. Request landing pad. See to landing pad 2. That... It doesn't help me. This this bit I always got confused by. Where is landing pad 2? Can't see anything on my HUD that tells me where. Is it the yellow bit? It's probably that yellow bit. That seems like a thing. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There was some concern before I went live that I might have run out of fuel, but I don't believe that's the case. Let us leave the seat so we can go inside and pick up a mission or something. If there's anything inside. Or that. Would fit in the back of the Jupiter. This probably would. This thing probably would, but you couldn't build it at that scale in Space Engineers. Like, the scale that this thing's built at might be doable in SE2, maybe, if they give us 25cm hinges. And rotors. Because I think we need that. Forgot to turn off life support before you left the door open. I'm not sure it matters. Like, I'm genuinely not sure it matters. Okay, so should be this way that I need to go. Through this airlock. Is there a rotor position sensor to turn the O2 back on when the door is closed? There might be. There might be. That would probably be a tidy solution for the issue I have with the way that it works and how it needs to sort of be triggered when the door has finished. Sorry about that. Just had to sneeze and mute myself. Vintage story guy is having some fantastical dreams. What? That didn't come. Now he's in space, it seems. Well, was Vintage Story the guy having the dream, or is Space Engineer the one having the dreams? Who knows? Where do we begin with such things? Coffee Joe's. Huh. I hadn't checked that out before. Alright, so what have we got around here? I need to find emission. Meteor drift recovery. Some rookie pilot lost control near Stash CCLV. I know that's a number. 258? During a meteor storm scattering cargo containers all over. In a pinch, can anyone grab them and haul them to Tumatuanga Port XW? I mean, that sounds interesting. But where the heck is that? I feel like that's in a different system, isn't it? That's going to be somewhere totally different. I wonder if we can check the map. How do I check the map? Does anyone remember? There's like a holo map thing. I feel like I had to build something, or there was a way to bring it up, and I can't remember it now. 4.7 light years? Ah, yeah, there we go. Yep. So I won't be doing that one, because I don't have a warp drive yet. Same with that one. Same with that one. Okay, so these are... Yet another distress signal. It's not... They don't pay particularly great. What about trading? Is this a way I can make some money? Sell cargo. That's right, the cargo doesn't really sell for much. It'd be more for doing trade runs. Or make something cheap and sell it, because they do all sell for 8. So I could, for example... Wow. I have that much scrappy hull? That's a lot. Might sell these hoses. Because I failed so badly at using them. Let's just get them out of my inventory. There we go. You're supposed to do the distress signals because you're a good person. Oh, all right. And I probably need to investigate... Like, I probably need to choose a spot to make up an actual base as well. That's a fair point. Because I think I need to have an actual base so that I can build up a warp drive, and this little shuttle that I've got becomes literally just a shuttle on board a larger vessel. I used the hoses and everything went wrong, so I'm just like, don't want to. I'll just use the pipes. Alrighty, shuttle, let's go. And Leave landing pad. Hope no one's behind me. Now, where is this mission? That way. Let's get my light cruise going. Why does it feel like you... Telling me to make Skywarp 2 is like telling me to clean my room. Yeah, that's... I can see that. Totally see that. Whoop. Ow. I keep forgetting that there's an autopilot that can get me there without me having to accurately set these things. Where's it going? Why did it fly past me? Hooray! I did the thing. I have rescued the stranded people by giving them 10 liters of oxygen. Okay, cool. So I got myself a bit more cash. I've got a planet here. We could go down and check the surface of that. I feel like building... Oh, actually, that's probably not a planet I want to go down to because it might not have oxygen on it. We could try though. Just gotta make sure we land on the sun side of it. Because the planets don't rotate. So, if you land on the daylight side, you are always in daylight. This looks like there is a distinct lack of atmosphere on this one. So you can have a nice infinite sunset. Yes, you could. How's fuel looking? Fine. I filled up at the station. So fuel is A-okay. But yeah, tidally locked planets is certainly not a terrible way to go about things. What are these red splotches? Well, apparently I'm picking up all the loose... What was that? Hang on. That was a Pyron shard. Oh yeah, cool. I think that's for weapons and stuff. Nice. Might collect a few of those while we're here. When a moon is tidally locked to its planets, it's... When a planet... I think tidally locked applies to not just moons to a planet? I'm gonna get so much useless rock flying around here. Yes, it's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. Something, something. See, I only actually... Even though I have listened to that intro song numerous times, I still only remember the words that Capac sang in Light Echoes. I don't actually remember any of the other words. Because I listened to him sing it that way so many times while editing it that I think it's erased any other memory I had of the intro to Red Dwarf. Yeah, something about fun in the sun. Do I have auto ejection for the rock? No. And the rock's not useless. Because if I don't overload myself, I'll have plenty of rock for silicon. Should probably check my, Oh, hang on, before I get out of my seat, how do I... Someone in chat know what I do to make my spaceship remain hovering when I get out of my seat. So I think there's a setting for it. Amusing to see me hoover up a moon. Yeah. I kind of like that Starship EVO has a different way of mining. Get in there. Come on. Any more? You need to add a construction anchor. Build a gravity pad thing. Oh, okay. Not a problem for now then. Bio-zombie welder. If Space Engineers 2 gets to a point where survival there is as fun as it is in SE1, and they give scripted modding capabilities, Nev and I have already talked about here how he would love to make a custom spawning solution to allow a scrapyard style play in SE2. But it has to get those things first, and as much progress as they have made, I still feel like that's... And I hope I'm wrong. I still feel like that's a year or more away. It doesn't feel close. I'm only half full. I'm also rolling over right now. Look at the Roomba go! Yep. Got any other resources here? A little bit of gold. A bit of copper. I don't know how many of these Pyron shards I need, but maybe I've got enough for now. It's not that hard to come back here, so I don't need to stress too much about that, I think. Oh, on the question of auto-ejecting, not sure how feasible that is here. Come on, come on, rocks. Get in the collector. Oh, there's more on the ground just there that I didn't pick up, apparently. Well, to keep myself level when parked, I probably just need to park on level terrain. That's probably the key. There we go. Is the mining laser in your chest? It does seem like it's in my chest. The beam does extend from my camera rather than from the beam location. Although if I... Oh no, it does! It's just... It does come from the beam location, it just... for some reason... goes over the top of the controls. But if I look down here, you can see that it's going behind some things, it's just not going behind all the things. Huh. Oh, collectors can eject, can they? Cool. Alrighty. Well, that's... I don't have an assembler on here, so I can't really easily check what I need for stuff, but that's a few Pyron shards. I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's go back. I think I'm going to go back to the original planet, which is this one over here, as that's oxygen rich and is likely to be the best place for me to set up a base. I'll pick a location that's got access to water so I can create fuel rather than having to rely on buying fuel, which, to be fair, buying fuel, not a big deal, but nicer to not have to. And I'm thinking I'll build an actual base. Largely because, why not? And then, oh that's right, you can, ah! Ah! Oh, this could be bad. Oh! Okay. Why didn't my helmet auto go on? Ah! I thought the helmet was supposed to. Yeesh. That switch needs to be in view of the cockpit. Or I set up a sensor system like people were suggesting to have it turn itself on as soon as the door is shut. But I think the air tightness has a few bugs in it that mean that it's not perfectly reliable even when you do have it saying that it's airtight right now. It will stop being airtight soon. Wow. That planet's a lot further than I thought it was. So we're going at 30 kilometers a second and... Oh wait, I'm in the gravity well or something, aren't I? So I'll speed up even more. 40 now. Yeah, I might need to... Whoops. I keep pressing V to change POV. I think having the switch here and moving the life support down here would make a lot of sense, that I can just quickly flick it from the seat. Because as you notice, I didn't open the door in between when it last said it was airtight and now. And it lost air tightness somewhere in there. I think it sometimes loses air tightness when I just get out of the seat. That's not true, Jack Waffle. I did turn it on after the station. Oh! No! 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 I don't want to go back! Fine. I'll go back and help these people. And then we'll pick a base location. So I'm thinking... base location. I want to make sure I pick one of the craters that's really, really obvious from orbit. Even though I will put an antenna on it to make it so I can find it again. I think having something that's also easily defined is probably helpful. Big crater base or mastermind volcano base. I don't think either of those is really going to be all that feasible. Oh wait, why am I making one here? I should roll the dice. Where's the Stargate in this system? I should fly through that. Just go where it takes me and figure it out. Yeah, I'll bring up the star map in a second. Let's just, accept rescue. Autopilot to location. At least now we can see the... Oh, what? Still 2,000 kilometers away. I'm going past this... I think it's near another... It looks like there's a blob there. That I presume is a planet? Planetoid? So yeah, now that I'm back on board, we can have a look at the system map. I like orrery mode, because why wouldn't you? Sun Wukong Space Portal, that's where I gotta go. Okay, we can get there. Be nice if I get past this planet so I can go faster again. Is that a planet permanently in darkness? Because it's shadowed by this one. There's something there. Because it's getting bigger. That's quite cool. I thought the gas giants you could fly by using collectors and collect hydrogen from the gas giant. So the gas giants have a use, it's just not a huge use. Yeah, there's just the tiniest little bit of sunshine that reaches that. Oh, that's cool. Alright, after I do this mission, I'm so going to fly down there and have a look. After I have a look at this ship. Okay, that is a very different design. Alright, I'm glad I did this, because this looks cool. I just want to see what it looks like from down near this crack or by that peak or something. Those lines I think are meant to be cracks in the planet. Or the moon, I guess, given how close this is to the planet just there. That is not a bad view though. I can totally see myself making a base on a place like this. Wait a second. Is this like... Wow. This is Silicon Central. All of the crystals. I think that's silicon. Yeah, I've collected a bunch of the red crystals over on the other planet. We have 41 Pyron shards. And yeah, they're just quartz crystals. So I got a bit. Alright. Let's go do something that could be incredibly stupid. And we will set the space portal as our target. $2,000 kilometers away. Death Star base. Handrails not allowed. 4. Oh man, that's a cool spot for a planet to end up. You get to live with a permanent partial eclipse of the star. Now, I do know that there is a real chance that something very bad could be either at this Stargate or at the other side. So, could be about to get real spicy. Hopefully not enough to completely ruin my day, but we will find out in a moment. I like spicy things too. Sometimes. Not too spicy. Within a reasonable... Like... I still grew up in a household that never used chili. And only started eating chili much, much later. Nope. Can I just fly through? Is it just... How does this work? What are you? Oh, yep, there we go. Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I like the cloud effect as a warp. It's different. Like it still gives the wormhole tunnel feels, but being clouds rather than bright colors and stuff. It's a very different feel. I quite like it. Thanks, Andy. Thank you for 11 months. All right. Where the heck are we now? Let's have a look at the system. What is in this system? We've got a fueling center, a fuel dump, sky barge. Can I? That's got to be a gas giant. Same with that. Same with that. Oh, are any of these planets? Wait, how do I reset? I don't know how to... I think I might need to click on the star. Yep. I think these are all just gas giants. Yeah, flat mode just gives you that. So yeah, they are. I presume that the Stargate is just going to take me back where I came from. There are moons. Oh yeah, there are. No atmosphere. No atmosphere. No atmosphere. Ow! Well, that's disappointing. Let's go to this wreckage field anyway, since we're here. Oh, the ring station. Yeah, the ring station could be... I could go down there. Make a home on a ring station. That's true. Let's go check out this salvage field first, though. Yeah, the cloud symbols near the sun are gas fields. Wasn't the first version of this game on a ring station? Yeah, the creative mode version, yes. Yes, they were. Oh. Am I allowed to salvage here? Am I going to get in trouble? Those two seem to be slightly melded into one another. That that doesn't look good for them. Doesn't seem to be a healthy pairing. Oh, it's almost free. They're free. They're free! This bit of wreckage has a glowy plate. Huh. Wow. Whatever this is, it's solid. I'm not seeing a health bar for it either. I don't think that's working. Wonder what I... Oh. Oh. No, the mining laser is a salvage laser. It does fill both roles normally. And blocks are disappearing, like the little blocks. I think I was just hitting something that had a stupid amount of health. Oh, I'm here, I may as well get a little bit of scrap. Because this will help me build up my new base wherever I choose to settle. Because without a warp drive, I can't leave this pair of systems, like this one and the previous one. It seems like I may want to go back to the original home system, because it's got more options for different locations, but we'll go check out the ring world and see if it feels like somewhere that could be made home. Yeah, the other one had more stuff, although the moons here should have most of the resources I need. I just don't know if the, I don't know if what resources the ring world has, so let's head there and find out. I assume it's not going to have any, because the likelihood that it's got deposits seems very small, and that's inconvenient. I would like to have resource nodes near wherever I set up shop. Like, you want to have water, you want to have the ability to go and mine stuff nearby. I would think. But I wonder how close the nearby planets are, because, like, mining in a ship like this and going and collecting stuff isn't as painful as, say, it is mining in your suit at the very beginning of the game. Because that process is very, very slow. And one of the things I was trying to do with my tutorial I made for this was help people get through that slow bit at the start quicker, because I think that's kind of needed for a lot of people to get to the fun stuff here. So I need to... So this ship was sort of born out of that. Not exactly this ship, but I think if I redid that tutorial now, knowing what I've do about building. I'd possibly go something more like this. Yeah, a little mining sled is kind of probably the direction you want to go. But that first bit should also be fun. It should be glitch. It should be. And I think there's some tweaking to be done there, and I get the impression Suno knows that. But it's one guy, so the progress on that will probably be not super fast. What's the story anyway? You start crashed on a planet and have no recollection of how you got there. Then figure it out from there. This isn't like SE2 with its story, this is more like SE1 with its not. I think it's probably the better way to put it. The aftermath of a shack landing. The aftermath of Capac was at the helm. So, yeah, my goal when I made that video is the same as my goal when I made the Space Engineers starter tutorials. I know there's fun to be had here. And I know that for a certain type of person, you would absolutely need to beat your head against a brick wall to feel like you've made progress. And so I try and help the people who I know are going to get frustrated, because the people who aren't going to get frustrated, they don't need the tutorial anyway. They'll just figure it out. But the people who are going to get frustrated, they do, and that's why that's the audience that I target with those things. So it's so much for me. It's always about trying to alleviate that frustration for those who I know are going to get frustrated. Wow, I really shouldn't just use the autopilot. I need to actually try and make my own paths, because it feels like the autopilot's going to go dead straight on, whereas I would have deviated around the planet to keep my speed up. Might have to remember to do that next time. Alright. Let's cruise. How big are these ring worlds? Well, they're that big. Okay. Gotcha. Not that big at all. Cool view, though. Like, if you were gonna set up a base with a view, that is a view. In fact, I'm gonna park here and check it out. Like, yeah, I will pay that view. plants are fossilized? Or, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with fossilized plants. That seems like a sensible place to go. Okay. So, why would I make a base here? I would need to be able to get to those rings for resources. And there's a moon somewhere here. Is it hidden by the ring right now? Might be. It might be. Yes, a nice beach with a great view. Like, if you're wanting views, that's a pretty good view. I think it's... Yeah, that's the free camera. That's what I was after. Like, that is certainly one way to get a view. Plants are petrified with fear because Splitsy, the tree killer, has landed. Well, I don't see any trees, so they don't have much to worry about. Alright. I should so just make my base here and just deal with the consequences, right? Do it. Yep. All right. Well, while Twitch is running some ads, I'm going to do a quick stretch. I'm going to stand up now. Oh, it's so cold this morning. We land together, we learn together. Yes, exactly. Perfect. It's a cool spot. Like, I think one of the biggest challenges with starting out in a sandbox game is deciding when you've searched enough for a nice place to set up your base. Because it's always tempting to keep looking further and keep trying to get something better. But in all that time you're searching, you could have already been building up something cool. Ike Sky, I've played Spacecraft on stream before, and will be playing it again. So... I played their demo. The demo was lacking the one thing I needed to see whether it was worthwhile playing. Because the stuff that was there, it was all the space flight and the MMO style stuff. None of the building. But the release version is supposed to have that. And I've been contacted to do a sponsored stream for it. And since I was planning on checking it out once I had access to the building anyway, I was like, yeah, sure, you can pay me to check out a thing I was going to check out anyway. That sounds delightful. So when it releases, I'll be doing a stream on it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the date for it. Probably not even meant to say that I'm doing a stream for it ahead of time, but whatever. That happened. But yeah, I don't know that I'm allowed to say the date of it. Don't recall whether that was under embargo. Oh, there is a known release date? Okay. The release date is, if you want to use sensible dates, 20th of May. Silly American dating. Why the heck? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, nice one, Stark. Figured you'd have it covered. Thank you for the link. But yeah, I did play it. Did you play the demo? Yeah, every time I look at an American date, I'm like, what month is 14? It's even worse when it's like when the number of days is less than 12. So it actually takes serious processing time for me to go, hang on. What is date? Does this give me my health back? Yes. Yeah, lousy smarch weather. I will acknowledge that if you go day, month, year, that also isn't necessarily most practical. Then you probably want to say seconds, minutes, hours, day, month, year. But year, month, day is the most sensible, and also the one that I use for my file naming, because then things are sorted properly without having to do fancy sorting. Thank you, Rotgwen. Sorry I missed that earlier. And thank you, Nomus, for the Prime subs. Oof, beef, that's rough. Yeah, see, I think the reason that people from outside the US get annoyed at US, let's call them customary dishwashers, is if you have to do translations between the two. It's mental effort that's like being forced on us by an external, which is why it's annoying. Alright, so what I need to do is set up a fuel collecting thing, I think, first. And that means getting power. And that also means remembering how to play the game. So we do want to put an antenna down. I have solar panels. I don't want to put down the wind turbines. They're noisy. They're just noisy. Yeah, we'll just start with power and an antenna. Do I need to put down a starter block? Didn't think I did. Maybe I do. Starter block. Where's my starter block? You have water, put down an electrolyzer, and burn hydrogen in a reactor. Does that give net power in this, just like Space Engineers? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't even upset me. We'll go with, I think we'll go with cubes that side. The starter block placed on terrain starts a terrain entity. Can you tell that these, the checkboxes for whether these videos have been watched, were added after I played? Hmm. Do I want Okay. Let's just have a... I'm just trying to have a bit of a think about how I want to actually make this, but what I should probably do is just build and then make it work. This is almost certainly going to be the best way to approach this. Oh, that's taller than I want the ground floor to be. Now I'm trying to remember how to reclaim stuff because I've forgotten. Oh, just... I was doing it wrong. Of course I was. I was holding down right click and I'm going, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? You need to tap it. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Just tap it in. I probably should have measured how high I went on the other side. That would have made a lot of sense. Herrix, I have found a really cool location for a base. That is what I have done. Now I'm starting to build it. Nope. Ah, the ship's going to steal all my stuff. Alright, that can be a roof. My thinking at the moment is build something and gradually improve it. Iterate on this as I go. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Good. Probably not going to want to have a roof there. Probably... I want to be able to see my view, so I probably will have glass or something up on the roof. We'll move it over later. Actually, no, let's move it now. Oi! Get back. Get back. Let's have a better way to place these. Place it on this bit of roof. I do this. Yeah. I think I meant to have a switch. Wait, does that turn the collectors off? Yes. It's like, I swear I had something of a switch to turn those off to make my life easier. Because I wanted that to be a thing. And then we go, and I'll build a little bit of bit that's not undercover. Oh. Oh. I have already run out of scrap. Let's pop down an assembler then. Oh wait, no. Antenna first. Can I build one that big? No, I don't have the bits. Yeah, I need to put down the refinery, the assembler, and offload things from the ship. Probably put down a cargo too. And some power cell bases. Did I bring? I did bring an assembler. And arc furnace. And reactor. I'm trying to piece together this skybox. A ring world in orbit around a ringed gas giant near a red dwarf that has another ringed gas giant in orbit of it. Pretty much. That's kind of it in a nutshell. Then... oh, wait. If I go to a bigger size, uses less for the same volume. How big is that? 128,000. Perfect. By which I mean a very large amount. Typical video game logic. Doesn't make much sense, but looks cool. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, it wouldn't make much sense in a Kerbal Space Program follow-up game, but in a game that's a lot more fast and loose with physics. Rule of cool. I think that's fair. Conveyor tubes. Let's link things up. Oh. Let's give myself a little bit of room to do these pipes. Didn't really give myself enough room there, did I? If I go there, then we go with a corner. Oh. Huh. I put a junction in there. I haven't actually messed with it to see whether that's going to play nice. Because I'd been making all of my tubes independent from one another. Rather than thinking of it like Space Engineers conveyors where you just link everything up to everything. And it looks like that's worked for connecting up that furnace. So it should. I think the reason I got kind of gun-shy about this stuff is I'd set up a system on my ship that was supposed to deliver fuel, but didn't. Because I tried to use too many connections, and there's only a certain number of connections per device or something like that, and it did not like me. And so I got a bit gun-shy after that, being like, I don't fully understand these rules, so I'm hesitant to push the limits. That's hopefully connected. For some reason I'm surprised to not see pirates. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, let's drop off some of this stuff. We'll deal with the reactor soon. But I'll offload the shuttle of as much as I can, because I want to obviously be able to go and get a bunch of material. So if I can offload heaps. I'll eventually want to make a connector, a proper connector, to transfer stuff between. Oh, no. I'm going to leave these guys on board. Because they're my... Oh, bugger, I just ran out of power. Or I just ran out of oxygen things. Yeah, I need some sort of connector to move stuff across. Once I'm doing this more often. Okay, so if this should be set to auto pull, spell output on, automatic process, push output to connected inventory. No, not expel. Pull from connected. Pull, push. Now, I've often seen that it won't pull stone into the furnaces. So I don't know whether I've done something wrong there or what, but yeah. It's the furnaces, I don't know, the pushing and pulling in my experience has been inconsistent enough that I don't know when I'm doing something wrong or whether it's a bug. I haven't found the pattern yet, is probably a better way to say that. The assemblers seem pretty reliable, which is why I think there's something with the furnaces that makes them not reliable. I just put 100 of the same stone in manually because it didn't pull it. So yeah, I'm aware you need 8. And I've seen Suna post a few things about these pull and push issues and them not being consistent. So I'm pretty confident it's a bug rather than a me problem. Man, I chewed through those batteries quickly. Okay. That makes sense with 2 furnaces running, but it's not ideal. Let's try and get some more solar panels then. Now these guys should be set up to push output to connected. Push output to connected. Need to tilt the panels to get them looking better at the sun. Do you? Do they actually work better tilted? I wasn't sure. Oh, yeah, it is too. Weirdly enough... Oh no, it's not working. Oh, that's good to know. I have a reason to use my hinges. Hang on, what does it say? Oh yeah, power 33%. Okay, cool. So let's... fix that. So I can at least do the tilt in one axis for now. I could possibly do both. Actually. Why am I going so big? We can go small. We go... 15? No. 16 out that way. We'll go 16 out this way. Nope, that's not right. That is not going to achieve what I want. At all. I think I've got a rotor. I know there's a way I could make the hinge work, but I'd need to put a block in between. I think let's just use a rotor. I should have one. Not across the top there, not across there. Maybe I don't. Okay. And I have depleted my power, so we're just gonna have a single hinge then. That's fine. Probably. Okay, so with that gigantic thing, power is reaching... Efficiency is 70%. With it vertical, it's 70%. Okay, so that's quite a bit better than before. Are these charging? Are they just holding steady? They might be charging. It was 50% before, was it? Okay. We'll see if... I reckon something like 20 is going to be about right. 84%. %. I can actually have it up at the same time. Oh, so it's... Yeah, about there is right until I get the rotor made. Okay. Oh, there's my rotor. Okay. This is the nature of searching for things. It's hard. Okay. Let's rebuild this again. Now, could I just build straight on this? Would that work okay? Yeah, I think it would. Or maybe not. No, I'm not quite happy with that. We'll go like that. Nope, that's wrong. I need to do this. Go across there, then go out. Okay, now. We'll eventually get there. It'll be fine. I was thinking of snapping these. No. I'm gonna have to redo those attachment points. Good, you got it. I was gonna make a clip. Ow. Okay, link tool to solar panel, then rotor. Let's change angle. 77%. I didn't notice what it was before. 70. 20 is 82. 85. 84. Okay, something about there. Don't need to be perfect, just good enough. And I think we had 35 was where we'll looking, so we'll go 20. 98% efficiency. 40. Oh. There we go. 100% efficiency. Perfection. Perfection. Look at those batteries. They're filling. And should have more solar panels too. Yes, all the power. Give me all of the power. The mass on this children entity is beyond the maximum 100%. This mechanism won't be able to move. Well, that's good, because it's already in position. So I don't have to care. Because the sun never moves. Relative to me. Okay, batteries going up. Batteries are full. Let's get a collection mechanism going in the water. Need to have some fuel here. Oh, also, I might cancel those guys. And you are going to make me some scrappy hull. Because I need a heap of it. Wait, does that only make from scrap? No. Makes it from plate 2. I don't know what's going on. It'll be fine. I keep forgetting. So one of the things that I found I forgot a lot when I was playing this before was the production of scrappy hull. Because it seemed to be you needed to keep some scrap to make the hull. But I often wanted to convert all my scrap into iron. And I'm not sure if that was a bad thing. Yes, all of the power, all of the time. My shadow looks pretty jaunty. I mean, I'd say maybe I look pretty jaunty. Yeah, it's hard to see when I'm in the high contrast environment, but when I was building, yeah. Oh, wrong key. Right, so I need to get the collector stuff. Is it a separate collector or is it just that one? Fluid harvester, that's what I want. Yeah! Tideth, you say iron hull. Where? Scrappy hull, wood planks, stone. Where is iron hull? This was something that I was like, do I have to buy this? Is this like a recipe I don't... Oh, there it is. It's hidden there. Why isn't it with the other hull? Aw, man. I had no idea. Well, I'm glad to have learnt that. We're gonna need lots of that to make our combat ship, so let's just order up a bunch and see what happens. Indeed, Hull is in England. This is true. Oh, no, put away the scrappy Hull. So this stupid bar thing that I'm building down here, don't worry about that. That's gonna go. I'm just using it to build out the grid to this point so that I can then build my fluid collector and then build the pipes as the connection. I was thinking of doing something don't think I can build a very big one. I think I'll go this medium-sized one. Actually, we'll go lower than that. Stick it partly below the waterline. Yeah, like that. Because this will still remain connected to the grid even after I remove those bits. And now I can build pipes that'll look like pipeline from the water. Will the lake drain? No. Will the lake provide me with fluids? Chat seems to be unconvinced. Either way, it's uncertain. So what do I need? I need my pipes. Because I don't want to put my fuel tanks and processing down there by the water. I want to build it all up on the base. Because eventually what I'd like to do is actually arrange this base in an interesting way. But I'm just slapping things down at the moment because I kind of need to remember what it is that I need to build. There's one thing to try and build a pretty base in a game that you know what all of the things are. It's another challenge when you don't. Oh. Poop. Press the wrong button. Okay. So we need pipe. Where is my pipe? Pipe. I'm gonna go with glass tanks, just because they look so much cooler. I'm probably gonna need more pipe. And pipe. And more tank. Starter bases are always a mess of spaghetti. Factorio has shown me this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in some games that feels right. Like, you want that mess. Because as you tidy it, you feel like you've progressed. Cities, Skylines, SimCity, games like that, I love when my start of the city is terrible and I slowly have to build diversions and bypasses and things like that, because then it makes it feel like a real growing city. And then there are other games where, if I haven't planned it perfectly from the start, I just find that I do not enjoy the aesthetics of what I've built. And Stationeers is one of those. I don't tend to want to improve what I've built, I tend to want to replace it. There. I think I'll just let it finish that last solar panel and then get it onto the rest of this. Let's see how far this pipe can get. Hey, Lotrim. Thank you, Jamish. Thank you for Prime Sub. Is that gonna look better on the back? No, I think that'll look better coming out the top. Because then I'm gonna have to then I'll make fewer height adjustments. It'll be visible. Okay, so this is gonna need some sort of support. Make it look right and look interesting. It also depends on how much and how necessary it is to redesign. Yeah, that's absolutely true, and the point at which that becomes tedium is going to be very different for different people. So for me, I reach this is tedium in Factorio before a lot of people who are here who love Factorio. Like, I don't want to do this again much sooner. Despite the number of other games that I know such people and I share a love of. and the tedium that we will happily tolerate in said games. No, give me that. Now I was gonna do something like this, just as a simple little frame. It's gonna let me place that though. Why not? Let me build across, but not build the... Is there any way I can get the block in there? No, might have to go another block higher. Which might look better anyway. Rather than clipping into the pipe, which does feel a bit strange. Yeah, Factorio doesn't have greebling per se, but it does have, like, for a lot of people I know, it does have a very real sense of satisfaction in getting something to look tidy and complete. Yeah, I think that's enough for that bit, but I would like to build a couple of these along the way. Let's extend this out. Go, yeah, 16. Now to build another one. Another little support structure. Come on, game. Don't be like this. Let me go upside down. Did 2, didn't I? Yeah. So yeah, this is what I was kind of thinking would look interesting and hopefully make this pipe look less temporary. The refraction in the water is a nice touch. The refraction in the water is an interesting challenge to deal with in terms of getting things to place where I want them. This is probably the point when I should have learnt how to use blueprints. My approach to factory games is either saturate belts or ask myself, do I have enough of something? And if the answer is no, then figure out how to make more. Yeah, so when I played Star Rupture with Shaq, we were talking about my troubles with factory games after a stream one day, and his suggestion for us to hopefully have more fun with it was, let's not optimize, let's just build. Just build, and if we need more of something, build a new one. And it allowed me to have fun for longer than I had playing a factory game in a while. So I can absolutely see why people would choose that approach. as a potentially not optimal, but also maybe optimal from a fun perspective approach. It's just a tidy way of not having to deal with too much. I'm gonna stay away from making comments about Satisfactory because it's been so long since I played it. I'm not even sure I remember the problems I had with it properly anymore. I just remember I didn't like it. But then I've had more fun in factory games since I played it, so maybe that's changed. I don't know. Something that I've become increasingly aware of is just how hard it is to articulate why you might not like something in a way that feels justified. That's about right. Have that go straight into a tank. Maybe build more supports as I go along. Yeah. Alright, so this tank... That's as big as I can go with that style, okay. Need a support structure. Yeah, Zoran, there are enough new games in the world most of the time. Every now and then, though, it's like... So you guys have seen me, especially in the last maybe... Is it the last 12 months, probably? Go back to a few games that I had a negative impression of the first time I played them. And part of the reason I did that was just to test whether my pre-existing feelings on it still held after a replay. So I was like, oh, maybe I just got this wrong the first time. Maybe I just played it wrong. Maybe I thought it was something that it wasn't. Maybe that's something that needs to change. Maybe I need to try and... If I come into this game knowing what it is, will I have a different perspective on it? Too high is aesthetically the most pleasing of that. I'm going to need to redo that pipe though if I do that. So let's move it away a little bit. Yeah, something like that. For my water ones. Justification is subjective. I won't give them money because they pulled it from Steam for epic money / exclusivity for a year, and the community manager's response was basically don't care money. Oh man. Being a community manager for a game, that's a job that sucks. That's just a sucky job. Like there are customer service jobs, and then there's community manager for people's entertainment product. Ugh. Just be... People were like, why didn't... Like when Keen were... changed their community manager, and they're like... Some people actually asked, would you ever do that? I'm like, no. Keen could never pay me enough money to do that. Ever. There is no world in which Keen has enough money to pay me to do the community manager role. That's really annoying that I've misaligned that. I'm gonna have to do that again. I don't even know if it can align the way I've got it. I think it's all gonna be wrong, so let's do this instead. Because everything you say as a community manager is analyzed by people, and you just, it's just not a good job. Do not recommend. You want to get into work that is gaming adjacent? That's not the job. Don't do it. Unless you really, really like the product and you think you can do something cool with it. And have a really supportive boss. Can you put a straighter fit in there? Or is it too long? Oh no, it fits perfectly. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I think that looks tidy enough. I have adjusted the grid spacing placement. There is a limit to how much you can adjust larger grid sizes. When you size up, it also sizes up the grid spacing. But I've got mine at the minimum. But the minimum at the biggest grid size is still pretty big. Yeah, community managers end up too scrutinized. Just not fun. Environment none makes me think this isn't going to work. And if this isn't going to work, we can't make a base here. Yeah. Yeah, someone did mention it earlier. That's why I thought I'd test this before I got too invested in building this base. That's why I was not trying to get too ahead of myself, but I still let myself build these supports because I just thought it'd be nice practice. That's unfortunate. That kind of means I have to go back to the starter system. Oh well. We'll try and find a nice spot in the starter system. Yeah, I have to go back to the starter system. Or I have to go out and do harvesting runs of fuel, which I just didn't want to have to do. Blueprint the base. Can I blueprint the base? How do I blueprint stuff? I haven't actually done any blueprinting. Copy paste tool. Drag a 3D region to copy the enclosed bricks, then paste them elsewhere. Because then I could copy this whole base and just plop it down somewhere. Or at least copy this fuel bit, because that's the time-consuming part to build. Also, just one sec everyone, I'm going to let Charlie out, because she is getting desperate to leave the shed. Yeah, when you go, there's a way to, like, name an entity. Oh yeah, save a blueprint, but then how do I paste that blueprint? Oh, caps is on. Is the collector pointing in the right direction? I mean, we could try a few things just to see if there is something weird about the collector, but a collector position similarly to that worked on the starter planet. And it still says environment none, even completely submerged. So with the link tool before, it should have a fluid level that's going up because it has its own internal storage. and then it pumps it through the pipes. So, yeah. No dice. Well, that's not how I wanted that to place, but sure. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's just not working. Yeah, Megasiv, this is 100% not a game where you had to pay a monthly fee. No. No. Starship EVO is an epic survival game made by one guy that's really quite fun to play. Still has lots of the early access quibbles that you might expect to run into. And yeah. That sort of trouble. Like, I think the refractions mess with block placement is what was just happening there. So the water refraction actually messes with stuff. Yeah, even with this fully submerged, it is reporting an environment of none. Yeah, it's single dev jank, but not in a... I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just... That's just kind of... There are things you should expect that are a bit weird, but which are slowly getting worked on. Is there combat in this game? Yes. That's what I'm trying to build up a base for, so that I can build a bigger ship. Because right now, my ship is this shuttle. It is built for mining and collecting resources. It is not built for combat. What I'm hoping I can do is build up a bit of a base and make a dedicated smaller combat craft, learn a bit about combat, fail, and then make something bigger that can have this shuttle aboard that is my combat craft. Yeah, Tideth, that description doesn't work. That is a starter block. I have no use option on the starter block. There is no use. I wonder if this is one of the things that some of these functions only work in creative mode, but still have the tools technically visible in survival that you can't use yet. Because there was talk in one of the update notes recently about improving the ability to paste in entities. And I can't remember if it's added or if it's being worked on. So yeah, let's just rip this up. It's not going to take that long to rebuild it once we choose a location. But sadly, this cannot be our base. There we go. Blop, 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 blop. At least I made up some more blocks, so I've got more stuff available for when I get to where we choose to settle. The other thing, I suppose, before I get too happy with getting rid of this stuff, is... Can I just build a warp drive? I think it's called warp. Warp core. Needs graviton rings, plate, frames, electrical components. Okay. Graviton rings, I think, needed sunstone. Okay. Let's just... We've got a marker here. We've got a base that's got power. Let's just go up to space. That's why I've got that. Let's turn on the collector again. Let's go up to these asteroid... to the rings. I'm gonna get some sunstone, because maybe I can just make a warp core and we can go to a different system. I just feel a bit sad just staying in the starter system. I kind of want to be somewhere different. Be somewhere be somewhere special. Okay, so just find the things. Also, there's a Tralaco. Oh, they want to rescue. No, I don't have the fuel for that. I'm sorry. O2. Nominal. There's a funky looking color of asteroid. That also appears to have... Oh, there's the red crystal on it. I want sunstones. I don't want these. I'll collect it, but it's not what I want. Let's go to a different one. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna hang here for a minute. Because I need to take a quick bio break. I need to go check what Charlie's going and doing, because she's run off somewhere. Make sure she's not causing trouble. But I'll be right back. And then try and find this sunstone. I'm hoping there is sunstone in these rings. I'm not convinced that there is always, but I'm hoping that there is. I'll be right back. Well, I'm glad I went and checked what Charlie had done, because she'd opened the door to the house and had let all the heat out. Which isn't nice. Oh, refilling my water bottle. One sec. You forgot to mute your mic. We heard you moving out. I'm sure you did. Especially with this game being so quiet. I've become so used to streaming with Shaq, knowing that he'll keep talking and distracting you guys, that I've forgotten to keep things as... I've forgotten about what I need to do when I'm on my own. Splitsy moving about is nothing compared to Capac moving about. This is true. He does make a lot of noise moving about in his chair. No. Guess I'm just gonna keep searching. Oh wait, does it tell you? No, I don't think it actually tells you what resources. Hopefully it has some. Yes, keep talking and nobody explodes. Have played that game. I'm gonna... The lack of collision damage is really risky to play Space Engineers shortly after this. It might be faster to go back to the other system and find sunstone there. I just thought sunstone would be in asteroids. But I've already made the base here, which is why I didn't want to go too far. I was like, I'm near. Could try the nearby moon. Which I think is that one? No, that's an asteroid. Okay, yeah, this has got to be the moon. Yeah, I thought it was like a space biome thing. Me too. I mean, I remember it took several asteroids to find it, even on that home system, to find the sunstone. But the fact that I found the red stone makes me wonder if this one's different. You reckon that place looks watery? That would be strange to have water without an atmosphere. That'd be very strange. Certain rings and planets, yeah. That's my fear. Alright, let's head to this place and see what's there. At least I'm learning as I go about these different things. And I can clearly see my antenna signal up on the ring planet there, the ring world. Indeed, Spectre. It's you recommend doing exactly why I'm searching for the things. That's precisely why I'm searching for it right now. I'm searching for some sunstone so that I can make a warp drive to go somewhere else. Something fools never differ. Using our current understanding and knowledge of physics it's impossible to have water without the atmosphere. Exactly. Crash. Crunch. There is coal. Wait. What is... Hold up. That's blue. Also seems to be deep underground. No. No, it's on the surface and it's balked. Okay. There's red crystals, there's gold. There's iron, copper, cobalt. More stone. Wait, that's a tree. What's a tree doing here? I thought this place had no atmosphere. It's not a tree, it's a bush. Oh, it's a space engineer's bush. Ooh. What are you? What is that? Let's find out. Hey, Stromza, thank you for the Prime sub. Void pearls. Oh, cool, I think I needed those. Well, we should grab some of them then. Yeah, it is nibbler poop. 100%. Come on, Void Pearl. You get in? Nope. There you go. Oh, here's the blue crystal. Okay. Let's see what that is. Aegis fragment. Huh. More void pearls around here. There's a couple over this way. My two collectors do not fight against each other because they only one of them actually pulls. The other one's just, well, decorative. The shields, I guess? Yeah, it could be. That would make sense. Okay. So we found some useful stuff here, but not the useful stuff I was specifically looking for, but stuff I probably was going to discover I needed to look for. So I'll count that as a win. For now. I just kind of wish I had some idea. What other stuff was on this planet? Whether it was worth scanning it or whether it's... I found everything by looking here. So I should now move on. I should probably get these Aegis fragments anyway. Yeah, this is the same save game as the one in my YouTube series, yes. Because the start is quite slow, so to me it made sense to just continue on with the same one, because I probably wasn't going to get the chance to sit down and do more edited play of it, because it's one of those things I struggled to make time for. Because I'm, like, the recordings for this took, like, Survival Impossible length times. So it was impractical, unfortunately. I kept getting to the point where I was like, I just want to play some more. I just want to know how this works. And I thought the combat would be more fun on stream anyway. Get in my collector. There we go. Okay, up helps. Whoop. And my collectors don't work terribly, but they're not great either. I feel like sunstone is just not happening here. Because I've found a bunch of other stuff and not it. Yeah. Yes, the edited series is just improbable. Because I feel like I can do it and just be sustainable with that. That's another bit of Aegis fragment, and then that's, I think might call it there for searching and try and actually get back to the home system, go collect some sunstone there because I know some is there. But there's a part of me that is also, it's like, maybe I should just check the other rings in this system too before I do that. But I also need to fill up my fuel before I get too carried away. Grab this one that I can see, and then I'm going to find the nearest fuel station. Alright. I am currently there. And I probably want to go to Deep Space Storehouse, I guess. Because I don't have a liquid collector. I think my regular collectors won't work on the gas cloud. I think I'd need a different one. And I'm assuming this storehouse is going to have fuel to sell. So let's go there, and then we can check out the rings around this planet, and we can check out that moon and see what we got there, see if we get lucky. Now it should be in the rings of that planet, but that's going to take me past my existing one, so let's go this way for a bit, see if I can get the speed up and go around. See, it does. Yeah, I did start to think that this game is more of like, there's plenty of opportunities for just chatting. And less time for, and so sort of worked better for a stream game because there's downtime, but not like huge amounts of it. And if you guys like this sort of stuff, then that's good, because I like this game and I want to play more of it. Oh, actually, while I'm thinking about stream times and things, do make sure you check the stream schedule for next week, because this time slot I'm not going to be able to do for the next 4 weeks. But I will be regularly doing this same time tomorrow for the next 4 weeks. Next week's streams will be a lot more solo because Shaq's working on his boat after Combined Arms this week. So I might be able to do a bit of Starship EVO and a bit of maybe even some scrapyard modding. I'm looking forward to co-op in this, but it's not a thing that's really viable yet, as I understand it. I don't think the multiplayer is really doable at this stage. I want to play it with... I do want to play it with someone, but yeah, I'm not sure it's... From what I understand, like the spawning doesn't quite work right. And if that's not working right in a game that we don't know particularly well, that makes for awkward. Will tomorrow's stream be at the same time as today or earlier? It should be earlier. Had I not been sitting on the chair in Toby's room with him on my lap at the time that I realized that the schedule said 5, I probably would have just done it, but because I was trying to get him to go back to sleep, I could not have streamed at that time anyway. Yeah. Steam page says do not buy this game for co-op games only yet. Yeah. But once the co-op update comes out, I reckon Shaq and I would probably get into this together. Because we both talked about the single player experience and that it's fun. So I can totally see us having a crack at it together. You mean, I've played with the frame shift drive. Yeah, it's a fast travel in Space Engineers. If you are playing a scenario where that's a benefit, I can see it being a benefit. Otherwise, I don't think it's groundbreaking in any particular way. Yeah, Shaq and I are gonna. Shaq wanted to try out Ostfront multiplayer ages ago, and so we decided, yeah, we're gonna go. But the stream schedule should be accurate, I just messed up today. Yeah, Shadow and I built the friendship drive, which I deliberately say that way. Okay, if I don't find any here on this asteroid, I'm just gonna... This looks more like the type of asteroid that I did find the sunstone on, though. Oh, and it's got a void pearl on it. It's got a few. It's probably not going to have sunstone. Oh yeah, it's got blue crystals. Are they blue or are they just showing up weird? No, just showing up weird rocks. Alright, off to the station, get some fuel. Then I'll go to the planet. What does sunstone do? So sunstone is used for making a component that is required for the warp drive. And I wanted to make a warp drive so that I could get out of this system and to another system. One that isn't the starter system. Because if I'm going to build a base, I could go back to the starter system and build up there. And arguably probably should have at this point, because I've been faffing about instead of making progress. But on the flip side, I'm also discovering and learning. So it's not all bad. Hey, Abak. How's it going? How are things going here? Well, look, I built this before I started the stream. The one thing I built during this stream turned out I can't build it where I wanted to build it because the water isn't actually water. So that's less than ideal. So I'm trying to figure out a way to go to somewhere else because I want to make a base somewhere else. So things could have gone better, but they could have gone worse. I could have been shot by the pirates. So, overall, no complaints. Yeah. Curse of fake water. Contact cargo cache. Oh, yes, sell. Buy. Oh, it's not a fuel station. Like I can buy. No, I can sell my hydrogen bottles. Ow. Well, that's just unfortunate. Sure, have my stone. I don't want stone. You can buy all my stone. Give me all your money for my stone. I feel like stone needs to be worth less than that. Alright. Pirates have caused you a few headaches so far. I need to up my turret game apparently. I grossly underestimated the pirates' firepower or overestimated my ship's durability. Oh man, Avak, you've gotten a lot further than I have, which is I'm not surprised about one bit. Yeah. That makes me a little worried that if you're getting issues, I'm probably gonna get my butt handed to me then. Right now, I am just trying to find a station that's gonna sell me some fuel so I can keep searching this area. And I've got enough, and I'm currently going away from the moon. How do I cancel my... How do I cancel my autopilot? X, it's on the HUD there. Finally found where I was on the HUD. Let's go back this way, now that we've wasted that time. Oh, the joys of missing where things are located on a HUD. And then finally realizing where they are. How far is this little moon away? I don't think it's that far. One thing I really wasn't prepared for, I'm like saying, was how persistent the pirates would be. Once I realized things weren't going my way, I figured I'd dip and head back to the station. They literally followed you the whole way there and finished you off. Oh. Okay. That's mean. I would have made the same assumption there, that I would be like, oh, this is going badly, I should leave. Thinking you can run away. Like, did they follow you in light cruise, Avak? Yep. Oh. Okay. That's mean. Also, wow, there's a lot of void pearls here. And Aegis crystals. Oops. Oh, that's gonna take a while to get in. But still no sunstone. Okay, so I've collected a bit of void pearls. Am I likely to need more soon, or have I collected enough for the moment? And can just assume that I'm going to get some at my next... at wherever I eventually warp to. I'm not planning on making anything huge. Just don't want to spend hours collecting hundreds of them and be like, you don't actually need all this. No, you have more than you ever need. Gotcha. That's what I was kind of thinking. You know what, Tommaso? I don't finish huge things, so I've got to stop trying to build them. So you can't finish big things, huge things. Games stop you, life stops you. Everything's just like, no, you can't have big things. No. No, no, no. And this does appear to be mostly... I wonder if there's biome-specific materials. Don't seem to be spotting much else. The best thing about mega projects is starting them. Yeah. I take after my old man on that front. You'd think I'd have learned from seeing all of those construction projects around the house that he never finished, that I'd be like, maybe I should take smaller bites. Maybe I should do things that can actually get completed. So I get that satisfaction of saying, hey, I finished this thing. But no. Alright. Off to the station we go. I think that was where I was going, wasn't it? Celestial Observatory? Yeah. See what this space station has. If not, I have to go to these fuel dumps. And if I'm going to those fuel dumps, I am going to go back to the ring world, collect all my stuff, and leave. Are those underground clusters more void balls? Most of the underground clusters were things like copper, iron, coal, that sort of stuff. The sort of thing that's, yeah. See, Eisen, you say the Griebelfjord Bridge, which is the massive, ridiculously detailed bridge project that was built on the Valheim community server that we had, that it got finished? Yeah, but guess who finished that? It wasn't me. Dragnon finished that for me. So I can't even claim it. It was a mega project that got done, but I had very specific help. In fairness... playing those numbers games. In fairness, my dad was the same, but I learned an important lesson from the many unfinished projects. Yes, he didn't complete lots of projects, but he still finished more than I even started. So the lesson here is outsource and delegate. Yeah, both things that I am really bad at. You ever wonder why, like, I don't get help with editing? One, it's really hard to find good help, but it's also really hard to communicate effectively. Alright, let's request a landing pad. We'll go aboard and see if I can buy some hydrogen fuel for this thing. Yeah, there is a project in my house that I would love to get to do. That was, yay, fuel. Epic times 2. Do not know what that means. You know you're in a handyman's house because none of the trim is done. Yeah. Yep. So one of the projects I would really like to, I've been trying to figure out ways to make into bite-sized chunks, is redoing the back deck on my house, because it's going to collapse at some point. And not like a full catastrophic collapse, more like the boards are on their very last bit of life, and so are some of the supports. Not the major supports that hold up the roof, but some of the less critical ones. At least if you're not the one standing on them at the time it breaks. But figuring out how to make that into a bite-sized chunk job is difficult. Refill the toad. There we go. Refueled. That's what I was here for. Is there anything else here that's worth looking at? Medical, no. Yes, best to replace before Toby falls through it. Agreed. Completely. Huh. That's a cool little design element. I like that. The stuff people have managed to build in Starship EVO is really cool. In. Activate kiosk. Nope. Don't do nothing. Looks cool, but don't do nothing. .6 light years, 19.1 light years, 10.5 light years. Whole bunch of distress calls. These are all in system. Could take all these, try and do them, but I don't really need money right now. I need to leave. Ugh, decking. Hated working on that while labouring. It was very much one of those jobs where 95% of the visual progress came from the first 25% of work, and then the last 75% barely seemed like you were getting anything done. But was really important to do. Yeah. Yeah. I replaced the stairs to some of the stairs on the deck a couple of months ago with my old man. And at least that, we did 90% of the work. There's still probably more work that should be done on it, but that I just haven't had the time to do. Toby's not quite old enough yet for me to do stuff around the house while we're having a day, spending a day together. Some jobs are just a little too risky to do with a 3-year-old. Like mowing the front lawn. Oh, oops. Okay, so we are going to... I think we should just leave. Wait. Why didn't the... In flat mode, why doesn't the Stargate show up? Weird. Should probably head back to the ring world first. I'm gonna rip everything up. We're heading home. Or do I just head home, grab the stuff, come back here? Already got the base. I'd have to make a new base. Yeah, I'll do that. Durga Space Portal, where are you? That way. Honestly, I think it's a legitimate skill being able to split up big jobs into smaller bite-sized ones. Yeah, you say you're not able to do it, Avak, but you do programming. Isn't that just programming? Splitting big jobs up into little things? Every time I speak to people who do software development as their job, they seem to talk about, you know, you just kind of got to break it down into the smaller and smaller pieces. And I know you're better at that than I am. So I think there's I think I feel like that has, and learning about that through stationeers has helped me with other tasks, because I'm now at least cognizant of, oh, this is something I should be doing, even if it's not something I am doing. So at least it's kind of like I've gone from pre-contemplative to contemplative phase of addiction recovery, which is probably not relevant to most of you guys, but it's something that it's like the phases of that was something that I was had to think about a lot when I was in my old job. Programming sits in the art side of your brain. That's quite cool. It is creative solution, like creative problem solving, so I can see that. I am going to go to this. I don't know why I'm experiencing space turbulence right now. So let's stop that though. Please remain seated. So he's old enough to think he can help, but not old enough to actually be of any help. Yeah, he's 3. Toby is actually he's helpful for little things. It's just the biggest challenge is finding a fun way to have him help out with a task. So I love cooking with him because I've found a few fun ways for him to help. He absolutely adores it when he gets to do something that he thinks might be dangerous, because I've had to give him lots of warnings about how to do it, but I'm doing it in such a way I'm pretty sure he cannot seriously hurt himself. But he thinks he can. And he really loves that. Like, getting to put the spaghetti into the pot of water that I'm holding at a safe distance from him, but which he gets to put in. And it's like that sort of stuff works quite well. But I struggle to do that when you're talking power tools. Because power tools, nah. Yeah, that taste of responsibility being trusted with, exactly. That's what you want. Like, I remember a lot of times as... What the heck is going on? I remember as a medical student, like, one of the things that I loved the most was when I'd be on a team that actually tried to make me useful. Like, made use of the extra pair of eyes and things like that. It was... And so I try and do the same for Toby, because it's just, when you're learning, it's great to feel like you are contributing positively to something. Whee! Bye. Alright, where's that gate? Durga! Where are you? This way. I need to respray the flight stick yoke thing, because the color of the HUD marker of the thing you've got targeted is a little too similar to the standard yoke color. So I always seem to lose it when it's on the bottom of the screen, when I'm first scanning for it. Am I talking about my son or Capac? See, I wonder whether Capac would be different if I treated him that way. If I didn't get frustrated with him so quickly that I could pause and be like, how can I change how you behave in this situation? But I think of him as this monolithic thing that just can't be changed and you just have to work around. Whereas I think of Toby as something malleable and adaptable, and he's going to grow and do different things. But maybe I need to believe that Capac can change. For those of you who don't know who this is a guy I've been friends with since we were 11 and 12 years old. And we are now very much a long way away from that. So... and we still play games together. Capac has had much more time to train his stubbornness, yeah. Oh, man. Have you tried a bit of Pavlovian style conditioning? I should. I should buy some mini sandwiches and try some. Although I think to achieve most of what I'd want to achieve, I'd need to go at least for operant conditioning, not just full on Pavlovian. I think I've escaped the pirate, I hope. Now, where am I going? I'm going over here because I need to get to those rings. You need an Arduino-based remote food dispenser. I think... I believe... As funny as it is, I think the healthy way for me to approach this is, how can I change me to make me less annoyed? That's probably work better, right? I'm glad you like them, Puck. I wanted to continue those videos. I was mentioning this earlier, but the Starship EVO, I really struggled to make more videos or to know where I wanted to go with the tutorials because I didn't know what else is in this game. I was so blind that I was like, I can't really continue a tutorial, and I was struggling to make the videos in a nice little package for video because I knew so little. That first video I made for Starship EVO, I spent 30 hours playing the game that week. Learning it, redoing the start over and over, getting better and better and better. Yeah, still plenty of room for improvement beyond what I put out, but it was the best I could get to have it ready for release. And that's why I decided to play it on stream, because I can usually learn a bit quicker with these things on stream, because I get you guys giving me tips, I try different things that I wouldn't necessarily think of at the time. And this is one of the games where I think there's enough slowness to it that stream is the perfect environment to learn in. I was talking to Shaq about a similar thing, and he was saying like X4 is probably another game like that, where you can probably just learn it on stream rather than trying to learn it separately. So X4 is on my list of games to play at some point. Backspace, how would you describe this game worth getting? If you like... So, the best way I can describe Starship EVO is, or any game really, is to try and use other existing games as examples to work from. Starship EVO is, to me, what I wished Empyreon had been. It's got a cohesive art style, it's got moving parts, you can move around on things, and it still has all the NPC interaction that Empyreon has. If you're more in the space engineers, I want hard physics side of things, then the fact that there's no collision damage is probably going to be a bit of a sore point for you. But not knowing what you like, I'm not going to say whether it's worth getting for you, but it is... I think there's plenty of fun to be had if it scratches the right itches for you. Yeah, I did take the sponsorship to do the tutorial for this because I wanted to make a tutorial for it, but I knew I wasn't going to unless I was doing it as work. So getting paid. I did not take... The sponsorship was less than minimum wage for the amount of hours I put in, but I wanted to do it. And so in this case, I was like, I'm going to go against my usual better judgment. I'm going to say, yeah, let's do it. Because I've owned Starship EVO since it was Sky Wanderers and before it could even be purchased on Steam. So it's a game I've been wanting to see succeed. And I was like, I think on balance, this is my best approach, but it did feel weird. So I was like, should I just do it anyway and not take a solo dev's money? I don't know. I was in two minds about it. I'm hoping it worked out well for Suna, that I made it and that it's reached a pretty decent audience. I got 100,000 views. So I'm hoping it was worth it for him. No collision is not a weird choice. No collision damage is a very understandable choice because collision damage is what makes space engineers unique. And there's a reason for that. It's real hard. So I don't think it's a weird choice in terms of if you're a developer making a choice. I think it's one of those things that's just like, well, it's hard to make this look good. It's hard to make this work well. What I think was a weird choice is in Empyrean, you can't move around capital ships while they're moving. It's like, what? But multiplayer. but. Yeah, I think Suna's done a great job of making a fun game. I didn't really touch Starship EVO until it got survival because I need those constraints to slow me down so I'll actually learn something properly. It's just the way I am. Have I played much SE2 lately? No. Like, I've got... Let's see. I've got quite a few hours in SE2. There you go. 86 and a half hours of SE2 I played. I haven't... My hope for SE2 is that when Wheels come out, I'll feel like there's something I want to do. Right now, as SE2 is for me, I'm missing something that makes me want to build in it instead of building in SE1. Which I think I'm not alone there. Oi, Crystal, get in my ship. Seriously. Meh. That one just doesn't want to be eaten. Fine. Since it was a solo dev, did you ask him if the sponsorship was worth it? I didn't outright ask, no. But he said, he'd sent me an email afterwards saying, I'll let you know when there's more, as I might want to get something else for it. But hopefully that was enough of a kick in the right direction. With the, it seems like it was a successful launch, even though, because Suna's post on it was, I'm really sorry everyone. I'm like, mate, you do not need to be sorry. This is, yeah, it's got bugs, but still fun. I will definitely play more SE2 when it has multiplayer. That'll definitely happen, but without multiplayer, It's harder to come up with things I want to do that I can't do more of in SE1. That's why I'm really happy with the latest SE1 update, and that they've generally been pushing more NPC content in the past 18 months. Because that's exactly the sort of stuff that people need. And the mission content in SE2 is pretty repetitive. Especially given that all the parts are available on site for all of them. Ah, that's another one that's not liking me. Yeah, should have enough is not do have enough, Sunstone. I'm of mind now that I'm like, don't want to have to come back here. That will be annoying. So let's collect enough. Like, water would properly functional water would probably be fun enough for me to fuck around with. But the trouble I'm really facing with an SE2 series is, what do I do? Everyone's done the missions to death. There's nothing unique or creative I can do there that's going to stand out and be different to what other people have done. I mean, I've even done it myself. So, like, for an edited series, I like to try and make things feel unique. And so, I just don't know what to do. Because it's build, but it's building spaceships that I don't enjoy flying because, well, now they've changed the control scheme, that's at least better. I should be able to find more fun in flying because this control scheme that Starship EVO has is not one I'm fond of. Starship EVO has more unique stuff going for it that I'm able to deal with it, and I know there's more to discover here. Abrazo, if you're talking about the online co-op for this, at the moment it doesn't really work very well. It's just why I haven't done it. I think the general gist is it doesn't work. Shilab and I couldn't even join a game. Yeah, Avak, if you guys couldn't, I was thinking of dragging Capac in because, well, we're very proximal to each other. But you guys, I presume you and Shilab are on a LAN, so you couldn't even join with a LAN game. Not that that's as low a bar as it used to be. Steam connectivity is probably the lowest bar these days. Just kind of one of the reasons Steam's good. Even though Valve are jerks, no matter what people want to say. They're just not the same jerks as all the other companies. Yeah, the multiplayer in this is not really a thing yet. Trust me, when it is, and when it is playable, you will see me play it. You'll probably see Avak play some sort of multiplayer, I assume. Because there'd be a lot... No, my beef is not with Valve. My beef is with people who talk about Valve like that's some... So, with all of the horrible gaming companies that are out there, you see lots of posts about, like, you know, Valve being the savior of gaming and blah 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 blah. It's like, no, don't go personifying another company. They are still not a nice company. They still charge massive amounts to developers, and the only reason you've got refunds is because the Australian government made them do it. Oh, oh, Tommaso. Wow, shots fired. Welsh. Jeez. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with the Scottish accent. I quite like it. But yeah, I think it's more of a knee-jerk reaction I have whenever anyone jumps to the defense of a company. For me to go, I now dislike this company more. 30 sunstone. That's probably going to be enough. That's right, Avak. Don't make him say gibberish at you. Don't make you say gibberish at him. But yeah, like, the number of people who are massive Apple fans, and it's like, come on. These are huge companies that make stupid amounts of money. They are not your friend. You can think that they're better than the alternative, and I do. Valve is better than a lot of the alternatives we have. That doesn't make them good. You're catching all the strays tonight. I mean, I just had to say gibberish because I know there is, I know you've written that place name, and I know there's a relatively short way to pronounce it, but I do not have even the vaguest capability to do that. Just say it. So no stray intended there, Avak. Alright, I'm heading home. Which is back to the gate. I mean, at least it's not hill. It's got that going for it. Torpenhour Hill or whatever it was that Tom Scott went to. Alright, while this is traveling, I'm gonna do some stretches. Because old man, as was highlighted before. Is it Wagga or Wagga Wagga? Come on, Chilla. It's both. You know that. Like, I think it actually is. It probably is one of those places where it is actually both. That I do, but I caught the fish I intended. Yeah, I know. I took the bait. I had to. Don't miss the days when you had to actually find the games. Yeah. Like, this is what I mean. There are some things I like about Steam. I'm not saying Steam should go away. I like the fact that all of my library is on Steam. I don't mind that Vintage Story isn't. Like, I think having played a bit of Vintage Story recently kind of reminded me of how it is to be like, oh, I actually don't need this in my launcher. I don't need a launcher. I don't need to have this stuff all together. It's nice, but it's not necessary. No, Meska, I emit more vitriol at the other companies. It's just Valve gets this free pass for too many people, so I feel like I've got to balance the scales. Yeah, you never hear it because I never play any other games. I don't play stuff that's not for other ones. I don't play Ubisoft games in general. I don't play EA games in general. So I don't have an opportunity to be... I just literally don't even give them my money. Abrazu, I did try the demo of In the Black for about not long enough to say confidently that but long enough that I was like, I don't know if that was just a demo thing or what. Ah! Bollocks. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. No! Uh-oh. Poop. Nuts. I think I have to go to the F1 menu. Well, that's unfortunate. Huh. Hmm. What? Oh no. Oh no. Which one is it? Is it any of these? Did it not get saved? Toad. Toad. Ah, okay. No, that's the wrong toad. Is that the wrong toad? No, that looks alright. That looks like it should be okay. Oh yeah, that looks okay. It's just gonna get shot up as soon as I place it though, isn't it? But I need to place it quickly, otherwise I'm gonna die. Open. Says me. Let me in. Let me in. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! Whew. Oh man. No, Marcus, I don't think Shaq has had an effect language-wise, because I can't imagine Shaq ever saying bollocks. And I feel like I acquired that one, weirdly enough, from a I reckon when I was the token Aussie in my workplace, and I was surrounded by Poms. Well, that hurt. A bit. Let's head to my base. Yeah, it's pretty British to say that instead of balls. Poms, like the dog? No, like the fruit. Very much like the fruit. The pomegranate, for if you're wondering. Let's get out of light cruise. Let's see what's on board my ship. Oh. Oh, it saved all the things. Cool. I didn't need to offload all this stuff. That's nice. That's very nice. No, the poms are poms. And I looked into the etymology of this. The one that I'm most convinced by, based on the evidence that I found in videos and things like that, from people who have channels based on etymology of stuff, is that the etymology of pom, as an Australian, comes from the English people looking like a pomegranate shortly after arriving in Australia. And has nothing to do with the acronym that's been forced upon it of people of Her Majesty or His Majesty. But it's more that they looked like the fruit. Looking like a pomegranate. Hang on. This is a pomegranate. So they looked like that because the sun would scorch them. But... Alright, fine. I'll go to this and save these people. Autopilot to location. Red like a cooked lobster. Yep. The fruit that gave hand grenades their name. Did it? Huh. Cool if true. I like it. So, learning about etymology is how I found Tom Scott in the first place. And now then I got a whole bunch of other linguistics people on YouTube because it's just fun. The stories around the etymology of words are just so bizarre and amusing and just creative in the strangest of ways. Especially with when you've got a language like English that steals so happily and freely and weirdly. What I do find difficult is, and I'm sure some of you guys have probably come across this, there are, for those of us more terminally online, there are certain sponsor companies that you just know of as, oh, that's not good. And that's well known in some circles, but it's clearly not well known in others. And then a channel you like takes one of these sponsorships clearly because they just didn't know. And it's like, oh, that's a bit sad. That's kind of taken some of the fun out of this. I feel like I need to write a comment being like, hey, just so you know, here are 12 links of why you should probably not take that sponsorship again. Is it Raid? No, honestly, as scummy as mobile games are, there are worse. Honey Trap, what is it, BetterHelp? I think that's the other one. Those two are probably the most obvious ones that I know of. Yes. Or as I like to call it, Mortine Heroes. See, you say World of Warships, World of Tanks. Every time I bring up those games, there are people who genuinely like them. So I don't feel like I'm in a good position to say that they're okay. This is what happens when the autopilot tries to go around the planet. Gotcha. Wait, it's not on the other side of the planet. This is confusing. Yeah, see, it gets brought up and people are like, yeah. And isn't War Thunder just like a thing for, for letting national secrets out and getting yourself in trouble with spy agencies? I thought that's what War Thunder was for. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh no, I'm getting shot. What the heck? Warning, your trajectory collides with the gas planet. Your ship will get destroyed at the bridge. Yes, I know. Oh, hang on. I say I know. Am I moving away? Yes, I'm moving away. Good. That was probably an ambush beacon. Yes. I hadn't had any of those with any of the rescues previously, so I was overconfident. Whoops. Thanks, Amy Cat. Thank you for 15 months. Space Engineers is looking weird today. Yeah. Not clangy. Okay. Etc. Bro, since you brought it up, an issue with selective realism. Isn't that every game? Like, we've all got our lines that we draw, and our lines in the sand that we draw, saying, this is a line I will not cross. This just takes me out of it. And I reckon I've felt like I've had those lines in the sand numerous times, then played a game, and it's been so much fun that I haven't cared that it crossed that line. Because if you'd asked me before I spent 80 hours in Windrose, would I like a sailing game where you can just sail whatever direction you go? I would have said no. But I had fun in it. Was that because of the game? Was that because of Shaq? I don't know. You could argue either way. But it's one of those things that's like, I don't think any line of realism is a problem if the game handles it well. It's just like, we can enjoy fantasy and magic and things like this because if they're consistent and they're fun, who cares? And I'm following a few random ultra hardcore survival games because I'm so curious to find one that I really want to play. One of the ones that they popped up something recently. It's called Paleolith. It's not out yet, as far as I'm aware. You might be able to get it if you go on their Patreon or something. I don't know. But what they were talking about is how they want to make hunting more involved, where the act of hunting is in finding, and then is where most of the act of hunting is in the finding, not in the final kill. Because in most games, and looking at you especially, Icarus, the game of a hunt is the final shot. But I imagine, especially for something like Paleolith, which is you're a Stone Age hunter, like it's literally set in the Stone Age, you've got more, what's the word I'm looking for? The act of hunting is going to be much different because you don't have firearms, so you've got to make sure you get as close to that animal as you can without it knowing you're there. Probably shouldn't have run into my solar panel. It probably didn't like that because it's on a hinge. Yep, I'm aware that Conan's been updated to UE5. Nev was saying that he's interested in testing the... Come on, brain. He was saying he's interested in testing the performance of our village that we built in Conan to see how different it is in UE5. Which could be interesting to find out. I wonder if it'll be better or worse. Or you spook it and chase it down slowly until it dies of exhaustion like we used to hunt. Yeah. Angel Rogo, yeah. But how do you make that fun? Because that's a really slow process that can end in failure. So how do you make that fun? And I would love to play a game that did that. Like, I've played those hunting games, what is it, Call of the Wild? What's it called? The Hunt. Is it called The Hunt? Yeah, I just search. Yeah, The Hunter, Call of the Wild. Like, I played this game. I quite enjoyed the hunting in that, because I was curious what the hunting process would be like. What my perspective was going into this was not, I want to be a hunter. It was, I wonder if any of these elements are fun enough on their own that they could be imported into survival games to make hunting in a survival game more interesting, have more depth, have more to it, so that it's not just, we have to have this many creatures around because otherwise you're going to starve. And it's like, well, fair enough, but also, oh, so I would love to play a game that's tried to do that differently. Well, let's make this warp core. And do I need some sort of fancy storage thing with this? Oh, can I make a... I can make shields! Let's make a shield for my toad. Although, I think I'm out of some sort of resource that I need. Am I out of wood? I might be. That's incredibly annoying considering... Oh. Or dig large pits to chase animals into, yeah. Yes, the one where I got punched by a kangaroo, exactly. That is correct. That is the game where I got punched. But yeah, I've always wanted to see someone try this, and that's why Paleolith intrigues me. There's another game. What is it called? I think it's somewhere in this relatively recent Unreal World. So I don't see myself playing this on stream at any point, unless I get really, really keen to. But it is this is the graphical style of this game. It's a very in-depth survival game, and I wanted to try it just to see what ways people could take this stuff. I think I'm out of iron as well. Am I out of iron? Yeah, I'm out of iron. Did these actually empty themselves? Yes, they did. No! No, 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 no. Yeah, the balance needs to be so much tighter in a game that makes hunting involved, and where survival is part of it as well. I completely agree. You can't have it be too restrictive if you want there to be other gameplay elements. I'm trying to look around for a moon, but I think the best way for me to do that is to go to the map. No, that doesn't help me. Actually, it doesn't. No. Alright, fine. Let's just get away from this. And it's that way. No? It's that way. Zoom zoom. Kill myself with G-forces. Spend days injured from a war, half freezing, too hurt to sleep, slowly dehydrating but still drinking enough to stay alive, only to recover enough to escape to a warm place and come back from it. So amazing. So Brother Raven, you're talking about Unreal World, right? Have I got the water problem situated? No, I don't. But I'm getting this stuff to make a warp core. Annoyingly, my base is now in a stupid location. Miles from any useful resources. So, yeah. So I'm trying to resolve that right now. I have a fear that the only way for me to get wood to make copper spools is to go back to the original system that I was just in, that I should have collected that in while I was there. So I don't think you can use coal or anything else to make copper spools, which is an interesting choice. I think there needs to be something else you can use for that. But only because it feels weird to need it for a spool when I could, use plastic. So maybe I could use coal and use hydrocarbons to make a plastic spool. I would feel less annoyed about my choice in base location if it could at least have fuel. I figure I'll collect copper, I'll collect iron, I'll collect some gold. I don't remember how much I actually had. Big Brzezinski, I'm pretty sure you're joking, but now there's a part of me that wonders, is there a water table on every world in this? You just not? Really? There's actually a water table even on worlds like this. Huh. That's surprising. I imagine it's unpleasantly far down, though. Oh, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's a way to find out where I don't have to do it. That's enough copper. Let's go find some iron. There we are. And do you have surface iron? Yes, I don't want to be... I'm not going to be a dwarf that dug too deep and too hungrily. Greedily? Greedily? Hungrily? I don't remember what the exact word was. If Mimas is a water world, does that mean they're going to change what type of world, what resources are available there in Stationeers? I know some of the iron was rolling away. Wasn't too much. They are really rolling away, though. Oh, look at my shadow. You can see all of the rocks going in. I'm not sure I want to spend the amount of time it would take me on stream to figure out whether there's a water table to test whether Big Brzezinski is messing with me. I have spent too much time with you guys that I am now way too suspicious, probably, of being messed with. I choose to blame Tommaso. Prefer to think of myself as an enabler. Yeah, Brzezinski, fair enough. Much progress this stream? I'd say yeah, maybe? Starship EVO progress is, let's say, non-linear. If I'm collecting resources now that can be used for making something... Yeah, let's say non-linear. That makes me feel better about it. I know I need all this. I'm gonna need a bunch of this iron anyway, to make it something bigger. I ain't ringing no shame bell. If you ever wonder why Capac and I moan at each other so much and whinge and complain at each other so much, it's because we're both trolls to each other. We've had 30 years of practice. You gotta push each other's buttons. That's the fun part. When you meet someone and you're friends with someone who can handle that and sees the humor in it, it's great. If I wasn't able to see the humor in it, I would probably not have spent as much time making content with Wasted as I have over the years as well. Am I full? Is that what's going on? This is one of those games that is gonna... What? No, 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 no. No, I didn't want to... Ah! Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Why, light cruise, turn off! It's stupid. It's not what I meant to do. It's not what I meant to do at all. I want to get out of control so I can check my cargo. 288 iron, 128 copper. It's not too bad, and we are full, so let's head home. Once I can get in my seat. Whee! believe I got shot up and got shot up that quickly by that pirate before. That makes me a bit scared. I'm not going to blame TFE for this asymmetrical ship. I wanted to make this asymmetrical. I wanted a side door. I like this ship. I genuinely like this ship. Yeah, my piloting's not exactly on point, but I like the ship. I prefer games that don't let me do what I just did, but if it's gonna let me do it, I'm gonna do it. As you have all seen me do at trade stations in Space Engineers, probably. If you've ever watched me play it. Yeah, but it's a brick with character. It's not just a brick. Would appear the collectors are still emptying. I am going to struggle to get over to here. Looks a bit like a Star Trek shuttle mixed with a workbeat. Yeah. Not that I really know what a Star Trek shuttle looks like, but I imagine it's somewhat like the ones in the Orville. Hey, the assembler's trying to do something now. Okay. While that attempts that, I need to take a quick bio break. I'll be back in just a sec. Oh. Oh no, it's still going. I made a furling ship from SG-1. I mean, arguably I did. See, now, that's just sensible. To no-clip through a planet and see if there's something underneath. Oh, weird. Oh, weird. What was that? Oh, right, I need to get my health back. Should probably fix that. There we go. So I think the assembler just made the things that I wanted it to. We have a warp core. And we have shield units. So I guess I shove this inside for now. Now I need some sort of fuel, I guess, or something? Wait. Our shield units are a component? Aw, man. Where are they going? Mining lasers effective in combat. No idea. I did not survive long enough to to even consider that. There we go. I need to make a shield rather than shield units. I see water. Did you test your new submarine? I think this works in the water here. I haven't tested... I've made a shell of a submarine for Space Engineers. That's as far as I got. And then the more Shaq and I talked about it, it's more like, there are more fun things I could be building. So I've actually been... This week, I started designing the truck to go on the Jupiter. And I think Shaq's gonna like what I've got. Pearl. Void Pearl storage. Attached to a warp core to store void pearls for warping. Void pearls cannot be stored in standard containers during warp. Okay. Let's make one of those and see how many more I need. More power generation for the shields and warp core. I think, honestly, what this ship is gonna need, if I keep using it as my main runabout, is more fuel. One of the thoughts I had with this ship was, if I wanted to expand it, I could lengthen it initially. So take this back section off, extend it out the back, and start putting stuff inside. And also, it gives me more space on the side to put other storages on. And then I can get more fuel storage on that way. But I hadn't really decided... No! I need copper spools. You can't disassemble, can you? We can get stuff back. I don't think I can disassemble parts, can I? Or was it just being slow? No, that's the void pearl storage, yeah. Nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. I wonder if the shield has to be on the outside. I'll shove it here for now, because I think it could look nice there. What does it tell me? Shield, online. Shield level, shield capacity 1125. Okay. I don't know what that means compared to the ship. I'm presuming not a lot. Largely because first one I've made and it's been made pretty small. Oh, hello, Bubble. Yeah, there's no way for me to, like, put something in... There's not, like, a disassembler or something I can use to make... to get stuff back? I don't think there is. I wasn't aware of any. Yeah, I would make an LCD for the screen level, for the shield level, as well as for the cargo level. The trouble is, I don't have the wood to produce the copper spools so that I can make the stupid electronic parts that I need to make. I have to go back to my starter system so that I can get timber. Because I presume there are no trees here on the ring world either. Should probably check. Go buy it at the station. The stations don't seem to sell regular stuff. It's like trade components that they sell. there ain't no trees here. We'll go to the observatory and see if it has it. Because it would be very helpful if it did. I need to... I'm at a half tank, so I should probably get some fuel because I've got range anxiety going on. $5,000 kilometers to go to this rescue. Yep, surprised it took me this long to notice any of you guys calling out the Halo references. You have hydrogen bottles in storage? Yes, I do. I've been keeping those separate and trying not to use them. Larry Niven had ring worlds first. The things that get said during a stream. I'll go do this rescue because that'll get me some more cash. Then we go to the station, see if I do get lucky and they do sell timber. Maybe I just went to the wrong sales thing? Could be. There is a tiny volume on those bottles, yeah. No, I'm not saying you're wrong, Andrew. Not at all. Just the things that get said. It's fun. LCD doesn't work for displaying shield level. Oh, that's sad. You didn't find the lumberyard at the space station? Oh, this is further away. I'm stopping. I think it's further than the station is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not going to the other planet to do a rescue when the space station's here. Yeah, that's what I thought, Zeppelin 2. There's no way for me to get it from the station. But, on the other hand, there is a way for me to get fuel from the station, so I'm going to do that. Yep. Let's get a landing pad. I do love these stations. They've got a real grand sense of scale to them. Which is awesome. And the fact they got moving parts and everything as well is cool. Can anyone tell me? I believe some of these stations were built by community members. And some of the ships that we find around the place as well. Does this game play with HOTAS? I have no idea. Haven't done any of the combat yet other than getting destroyed, so I don't even know how that would... whether it's the sort of game where that'd feel good for combat. Okay, fuel. Trade was around this way. Who's been spaghettified? That guy. That guy's been spaghettified. Airy Bennett is hair and spaghettification. Invisible, visible, invisible, visible, invisible, visible. Trying to pick my pockets, yeah. So yeah, if you look at trading, you can sell a whole bunch of stuff, but the stuff you can buy is all of this sort of trade goods style of thing. And I think the idea is that you would buy something like this dark matter port at a 21% discount at this station, and then go sell it at somewhere that's gonna pay more. So you can do trade runs. It's not, the traders are not supposed to be, at this stage at least, an alternative method of acquiring resources. I think there's another someone who's spaghettified. That's trippy. Well, let's get out of here. At least we got a new full tank. Which is good before I try and get past that pirate again. At least I've got a shield this time. For how long that's going to last, I don't know, but I've got one. Yep. Too many warp jumps, too many black holes, too many... I don't know. Too much spaghetti? Leave. Alright, back to the Stargate I go. Now, what are the odds? Do you reckon I'll get shot this time? Or do you reckon I will scrape through like I managed to the first time? At the moment, it is a 50-50 odds based on the current existing transits. Yep, I did survive 50% of them. Because I don't know that I've got any other alternative. I've been to most of the moons in this system and they don't have wood. Which makes sense, they don't have atmosphere. So I need to collect a whole bunch of timber. I should never have put my base on that ringworld. Why did I do that? That was so daft. It's such a terrible location. It looks amazing, but it is so impractical. I'm trying to think of a real-world equivalent to a location that looks that special, but is just no. Just I'd never live there. Desert islands? Yep. Yep. Where's my internet? I want my internet. Do you want to pick up the base to relocate it? Yeah, that's the plan. My justification for not was that I have put so much stuff in there now that it's bigger than the Toad can carry. So I'd have to modify the Toad to do it. And I'd have to rebuild all that base anyway. I thought I wasn't going to need to make this many trips back and forth, so it seemed like a decent idea to just be like, all right, I'll just go, I'll get my sunstone, and I'll travel back. If I'd gotten the timber as well then it would have been fine, because it would have just been one trip to the old system, one trip back, and now we have a warp core and we can go to a whole new system, pack up the base, let's go. But now that now that I've had to go twice, I was wrong. I was terribly, terribly wrong, and it would have been so much better just to pack up my base and move it back to the starter planet. But no. Also, I have clearly missed a few subs recently. I think might have missed Stromsa, although I think I said that. Thanks for that Prime sub. And Taz, I missed you 55 minutes ago for the 52 months. Thank you very much. And thank you, Emmy Cat. Thank you for the 15 months as well. I think I said that one. What is going on with the autopilot? $1,200 kilometers away. Let's see if I can get more speed. Nope, I am slowing down even more now. 6, 7, 6, 7. Curse you gas giants being so big! $1,100 kilometers away? Don't you start with the 6-7 stuff. Oh, I pity anyone with teenage kids at this moment. I mean, I think that's just been truth for most of human existence. Pity anyone with teenagers. We're all jerks at that age. We don't know it. We don't see it. Is it as bad as Baby Shark thing? It's different. It's very different. I actually, Baby Shark doesn't get me. It doesn't annoy me. It's weird. None of those repetitive things get to me yet. I have to say yet, because that may change. But yeah, there are some songs that Toby really likes, and they're variants on Baby Shark, and it doesn't bother me. And I'm not sure what, yeah. And annoy gets my other half though. I deliberately had avoided anything Baby Shark because I was just like, oh, this is going to be so annoying. I'm going to hate this so much. So it wasn't something I'd actually had to deal with. But then once Toby started wanting, like, there were some things that he wanted that had it as songs, I was like, oh, I'm not so, it just, I don't know, just doesn't annoy me. Not afraid, you will be, you will be. Yes, Tex, that's true. At some point, I'm sure, and I was thinking about this when Toby was watching some Bluey yesterday, where the kids are playing some music that most people would find incredibly annoying. And I was like, sure, at some point this is going to get on my nerves. Right now, thankfully, no. Oh, what was the term for what 6-7 is? It's a shibboleth. Shibboleth? Shibboleth. And once you realize it's that, and that it's an in-group, out-group thing, and that the vast majority of people saying it don't actually know what it is, it's just like, whatever. Crazy frog. That, yeah. Or, you know, the stupidity of early online culture with badger, badger, badger. But yeah, part of the fun of these things, if you're part of the in-group of these things, is that they do annoy others. So not being annoyed is the answer. Getting stuck cruising between planets is not the answer. It's the hive mind thing and that irks me. Yeah, Carmock, look, when I was a teenager, I hated that stuff. It's just the same. I was more the annoying one that would try and do things differently just because I didn't want to do the same stuff. I'm sure I fell for some of that stuff anyway, but things like that I wouldn't have. I was just like, ugh, this is so dumb. Even when I was a teenager. But I think you just gotta be like, oh, this is useful. I know this person feels, I know this about this person. They feel that it's more important to be part of this in-group than to understand what it is that comes out of their mouth. Your 2-year-old is all about chicken banana. Oh man. It's not the worst dinner. If that's what they're gonna eat. Give them a plate, give them some chicken, give them banana. You're sorted. It's fruit. It's protein. Should be happy. Right? That was an attitude my sister tried to bestow upon me because she's got 3 boys and she's like, you know, if they eat, don't care. Just make sure they eat. Don't stress on it too much. Come on, give me the wood. Need all of the timber. I do wonder how annoying this stuff would be. Like, how annoying the 6-7 thing would be if I actually did have a teenager, though. Who was saying it. I, thankfully, am usually blissfully aware of all of this nonsense anyway. Not only am I pun impaired, but I've always been meme impaired too. And as I said before, that's not just because I'm old. That's also because I didn't care when I was younger. Now, if I... Oh, man. Now I'm worried that I'm going to warp somewhere and I'm going to end up with somewhere that doesn't have timber as well. And I'm going to have to warp until I find a system that has trees. Now, how hard is that going to be? 50% of the systems I know of do not have trees. Get in my ship. Surely there's a high-tech version of the wooden spool. That's what I would have thought, but I don't seem to see one. Copper seems to need to go onto a wooden spool. Which is an interesting choice. Why am I getting pelted with rocks and planks? So, on the left-hand side of my ship, I have collectors. They use, let's say, gravity magnets. Just say something stupid. To pull loose resources into them to collect them for my ship. It's like old mining in Space Engineers when you had to, when you get loose ores floating about, so you'd build a spherical gravjan and a collector and have all those bits go in. It's kind of the best way, I think, for text to understand that. You definitely played back in those days, just as I did. Come on, get in the collectors. Hurry up. Back when Keen hadn't optimized the game, so there was a whole bunch of things like you could watch refineries refine in 1 kilogram chunks. You could do a bunch of things like that. And so they had little floating bits of ore that would appear even with ship drills. And then they're like, does this add to the game enough to be worth the performance hit? Probably not. And so they got gone. They were removed. Yeah, there are some things that the ticks are annoying. There are some things like, yeah, fair enough. Refineries did not need to be updating every game tick. That is unnecessary. Yeah, the transparent conveyors, all these things. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if Carmock was around it keen to know if this was. But whether I have heard, or read, rather, that the transparent conveyors were originally because they were going to have actual objects moving through them the same way they do in Stationeers. So you'd be able to see stuff getting moved. Which would have been interesting given the rate at which we move stuff in Space Engineers these days. Yeah, I figured it was way before your time, Carmock. In fact, Carmock, would it be a stretch to say maybe, like, well before you were even a programmer? That's Reggie's way of saying hello in binary. Oh, you only worked on SE2, that's right. That's right, that's right. Doing all the tooling. If it was a robot, I'd translate something into binary for it. Alright, how much have I got? How much wood? 126, 53. Ugh, I should probably get more. You know what? What I may do is I'm gonna go and I'll collect some more timber, I'll collect some more resources, I'll fill myself up. So that, I think it might be next Wednesday. Normally the stream was Shaq. I might come back to this and we'll do some more. I won't do the run through the Stargate because there's a chance I'll die, and that's too fun to miss. But yeah, I think I'll come back to this on Wednesday with some more. In the meantime, between now and then, I'll obviously be back tomorrow with Shaq. We're going to be trying to play... We're playing a strategy game. Should be interesting. Ostfront. And then on Sunday, obviously, with more combined arms. Get back to more space engineers. And I'm going to try and record another episode of Mission Improbable. And I'm not going to do it as a weekly video. I'm possibly going to do it more frequently than that. So we'll see how often I get recordings that I'm happy with and how quickly I can get some more episodes of that out. But yeah, that's my plan for the coming week. Check the Twitch schedule for when things actually are. There is some changes for the next month, and then I'll readjust after that, see where things are at. But yeah, because my other half is working some extra shifts, I get to be stay-at-home dad with Toby 2 days a week for the next 4 weeks, which I am looking forward to. So yeah. That's enough of that. I'll see you, hopefully, tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.